We spend a fortune decorating your home for aesthetics, but often overlook what truly matters: how it makes us feel. As biological creatures, we're drawn to spaces that make us feel safe and comfortable, responding to environments that align with our deep-seated hunter-gatherer instincts shaped by millions of years of evolution. By understanding these psychological needs, which we'll cover in this video, you can transform your home into a place that not only looks beautiful, but also calms your mind, boosts your mood, and makes you truly feel at home. Hi, I'm BaiXu, a licensed architect. In this video, I want to go over 16 ideas from the field of architecture, interior design, and environmental psychology that you can use to transform into a space that you'll never want to leave. The biophilia hypothesis suggests that humans have an innate affinity for nature. Visual stimulation from natural scenery de-stresses us and calms us down, so scenes like rolling hills, green trees, and water are especially calming. So if you live in a home with a view out to nature, don't block it with any furniture or, let things get in the way. Try to embrace it and just look outside once in a while. If you don't have windows that look onto greenery, you can think about placing pictures or photographs that depict serene natural scenes. Arrange your furniture in a way so that you feel protected. Our hunter-gatherer ancestors instinctively felt safer when they could see potential threats while having a solid barrier behind them. Being able to see their surroundings lets them react swiftly in case danger should pop up, and then they can, continue surviving. This concept aligns with the process refuge theory in environmental psychology, which suggests that people feel more secure when they have a clear view and a safe place to retreat to. This setup allows our brain to relax, knowing we are in a defensible situation where we can see stuff but be protected. So to have this feeling in your home, you should arrange your furniture so you can see the room entrance while you're seated, which gives you a clear view and subconsciously reduces anxiety. So for example, if you're in a home office, you can place your desk against the wall or in the middle of the room, so your chair is always facing the room's entrance and you can see whoever wants to come in. If you're arranging places to sit in the living room, you can put your sofas against the wall so it always feels like you have something solid behind your back. But the layout requires you to put it so it's floating in the middle of the room. You can always put a console table or some shelves behind it to give it a feeling of a natural back. And sometimes adding something that's a little bit taller, like a plant or a lamp overhead, will create a sense of enclosure over your floated seating. And this in turn can also make you feel a little bit better protected. When you're trying to pick colors in your home, think about the emotional vibe you want in the space first. Colors evoke specific emotional and psychological responses because we associate certain colors with certain emotions, so it's worth considering what meaning you want to have in your room beforehand. There is a little bit of difference between each culture, so if you're interested, here is a diagram that tells you how people associate meanings with different colors in different cultures. Blue, for example, is often associated with calmness and trust, making it ideal for bedrooms or offices. Yellow, while bright and cheerful, can also mean like caution, be careful, danger. So if you're not sure about what colors to use in your home, but you understand the meanings behind each colors, try to think about how you want a certain space in your home to feel emotionally, and then you can try to find a color that's associated with this emotion and then decorate it in this color. If you want something that's calming and relaxing, you can go for blues and greens to promote peace and tranquility. If you want something that's energizing, orange or red. So this might be quite good for a workout area or your kitchen. If you want it to be warm and comfortable, brown tones to create a cozy, inviting atmosphere, for example, in your living room or your libraries. So after you've decided on a color you want in your home, you can also decide on how saturated along the scale you want it to be. Really saturated, vivid, and intense colors stimulate the brain and increase arousal. This heightened sense of arousal can boost energy levels and make you feel very urgent and excited. In fast food restaurants, very often you have very saturated, vibrant colors like red and orange because this is supposed to make you feel more energetic, more urgent. You go in, get your food, and then you get out. Less saturated, softer colors are a lot less stimulating, which is why they're easier on the eyes, they make you feel more calm, and they help reduce stress, anxiety. So if you're someone who doesn't like too much stimulation and you want your home to be calm and soothing, go for less saturated colors. Don't make it so intense. This is super intense. Don't ever paint your home this color. Pick warm lights for your home in areas where you want to relax and socialize. The temperature and brightness of light significantly impact how we perceive a space and even ourselves. Warm light relaxes us and feels cozy due to its effects on our circadian rhythms, psychological associations. So warm color temperature light mimics the natural light of sunset and sunrise, which plays a crucial role in regulating our circadian rhythms. Throughout history, the transition from daylight to the warm hues of sunset signal the end of the day's activities. Our ancestors' reliance on fire for light during the night also meant that warm light was prevalent in safe resting environments. All of this combined has ingrained a sense of security and relaxation associated with warm light. So if you want your home to feel secure, cozy, warm, this is the sort of atmosphere and lighting you should go for. On the other hand, if in any areas of your home you want to cultivate productivity and focus, you should go for cool colored light. Cool light, typically with a color temperature above 5000 Kelvin, resembles natural daylight and has a higher blue light content. Exposure to this sort of light suppresses melatonin production, which is responsible for making us feel sleepy. So in areas around your home where you want to be really alert and super productive, maybe you have like a workshop or a certain area of your home office, you can get some cool light bulbs and maybe light around your monitor to help you create an environment that is good for concentration and productivity. If you want your home to feel a bit bigger, paint the ceiling and walls in light colors. Light colors reflect more light, which enhances the perception of space and openness. This kind of mimics the natural distribution of light in nature, where the ground is typically darker and the sky lighter. And if some spaces in your home feels too big, you should paint them dark to make it feel cozier and smaller. Darker colors absorb more light, creating a sense of enclosure and intimacy. So this would probably be good for spaces like the bedroom, where you want to feel a little bit more like cocooned and wrapped up, or a reading corner where you just kind of want to be alone with a good book and a cup of tea. If you want your home to feel relaxed and chilled, go for curvy shapes and wavy lines. Round shapes and curvy patterns mimic natural forms like waves, clouds, and leaves and flower petals. Everything that looks a little bit softer and more organic is going to make your space feel a bit more chilled and relaxed. Wavy patterns and curvy lines can be incorporated in things like furniture, wallpaper, even shapes you paint on a wall, and simple decor pieces you can have around the home. Geometric patterns with straight lines and sharp points can energize the space and stimulate you. The inherent energy in geometric shapes such as triangles, chevrons, and zigzags conveys a sense of movement and direction. This directional movement kind of guides our eyes all around, making the space look way more dynamic than it is. Small patterns are generally better for creating a sense of calm and reducing visual stimulation. This is because when the scale of patterns are much smaller, they become less visually dominant and they are less likely to overwhelm your visual field. Your cognitive load is reduced because the eye can process them without much effort, so you feel more at peace. On the other hand, large patterns can be visually stimulating and create a more dynamic and energetic atmosphere. But if overused, they can lead to visual fatigue and a sense of clutter around your home. You might not know this, but men and women actually prefer to sit and socialize differently. Men in general prefer to actually sit side by side with one another, for example. Think about them on a park bench looking into the distance, or on top of a mountain looking into the distance. That's how men actually would prefer to socialize and sit. Whereas women, not necessarily more confrontational, but would prefer to have more eye contact and directness when they're socializing with each other. Now, what does this mean for our homes? If a room is supposed to be for like guys, then maybe you can arrange chairs or sofas parallel to each other in the living room or home office so they can sit down comfortably next to each other and have conversations. Whereas if it's a place that's for like women, ensure you have chairs that are kind of like facing each other across the table or something. Or if you're living in a mixed sex household where you have maybe a chair option that's at a right angle with armchairs and stools that you can move around so people can arrange themselves however they want, next to each other or facing each other. Sit up straight, feel great. When it comes to office spaces or work areas, choose furniture that promotes good posture. Not only is it good for your back and shoulders and generally your whole body, but it also has a lot of psychological effects. Studies have shown that an upright posture can enhance self-esteem and confidence because our body language directly influences our emotional state and self-perception. So if you're sitting up straight and your shoulders out and you're sitting upright, somehow you just feel more competent and more confident in yourself and you're performing better. Whereas if you're in a really, really bad chair and you're sitting all scrunched up and you just can't quite get comfortable, you know that it's also going to affect how you perceive yourself. Think about Superman and how he stands when he is about to fly off and save the world. So how do we do this in our home? Well, always go for good quality ergonomic chairs in your home office that supports the natural curve of the spine and promotes an upright sitting position. Natural materials and textures with visible grains like wood and stone can create a calming and soothing environment. The organic textures and patterns found in these materials mimics the complexity and randomness which our brain finds inherently soothing. So go ahead and fill your home with natural materials like wood, stone, jute, closely resembling to nature as possible. Even in spaces like windowless bathrooms where it doesn't really feel very natural because you don't have light, or you can just install some wood or wood-like accessories like towel racks, soap dishes, and shelves to bring a little bit of naturalness into the space. High gloss finishes, while super cool and sleek, can overstimulate your eye and make it feel quite tired. Their reflective properties leads to increased sensory input. It can potentially make you feel a little bit stressed. Matte finishes, on the other hand, diffuse light rather than reflect it, which results in a softer, more calming visual experience. So you don't have as much eye strain and anxiety and visual clutter. I'm not sure if you noticed this, but the ceiling height of a space influences how we perceive the formality of the space to be. Higher ceiling spaces are often associated with more grandeur and formal rooms. So think of places like churches, libraries, dining halls, courtrooms. And in contrast, lower ceilings feels a lot more intimate, which makes them great for cozy, informal places. So if you have different ceiling heights in different rooms of your house, try to place some more kind of formal spaces in the high ceiling spaces and the more relaxed private spaces in the low ceiling spaces. So bedrooms, studies, playrooms, they can all be in these cozy small corners, whereas dining room or a living room where you're receiving guests, they should be in the bigger, more grand, high ceiling spaces. That's it for this week's video. I hope you found it interesting and you'll stay subscribed. If you want to find out more information about how to design your home, be sure to check out the other videos that are popping up on the screen right now. Thanks and see you very soon. Bye!